Welcome back to the Life and Listings podcast. I have a special guest today joining us, Jacopo. Today he's in Miami, but he seems like he travels all over all year long. Thanks for joining us today.
Jennifer, thank you to invite me. And my main goal of here is to share with your audience more information is possible coming from my heart, my mind, and my knowledge.
I'm really excited about this one. So tell anybody that's listening in that has not met you yet, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, all of that fun stuff.
First of all, I love to share where I coming from because I love my city, Napoli, where I coming from. Grow up in Italy, have different pain point in my life, like you, like everybody. Moving, I am serial entrepreneur. It means I create a chain of jewelry with more than 20 shop, make this company multimillionaire, create another company in the same space with big result. Starting at 22 years old, real estate market, starting to invest in Italy. And everything is coming from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, where I read this book and I learn how it's important to becoming investor. Starting over there, 28 years, my business started to lose revenue. Real estate in Italy started to slow down. Son, my ex partner, took my company I built with my experience and my knowledge. And what's happening, I have the possibility to live comfortable in Italy, but I need something more. And I started to research. First aspect of my life is research. Second of all, growth. Third, action. Fourth, contribution. Started to research. See Zillow, I remember like yesterday, the big difference for the mortgage subprime. Couple of years before, property value 500K. When I arrived in Miami 2011, property value 100K. I know light boat, tech, fly, go to the other part of the world, don't speak English, don't know anybody, don't know how it's working over here, nothing, zero. For the first 3 years, cry a lot, sleep couple of days on the floor completely because from the other part of the phone, from FPL, they don't understand me because I don't speak English. I try to connect. The hand is not working because they don't see the hand, like, and what's happening, I slept in the floor. I remember like yesterday in Brickell. And moving forward, I do more than 355 flipping. I have my portfolio of cash flow property, and I create really a process where I love to share with the people how it's really possible becoming healthy, rich, and happy through my book. With this method I create called MPBE, meditation, pre-biohacking, and exercise, plus the real estate. I believe like real estate is vehicle to create wealth in our life,
Mm-hmm. I love that. And so you're right now, you said you're in a place of contribution, which is where the book comes from. So tell us a little bit about that method you've created. I'm assuming that's something that helped make you successful, and now you want to share that with the world.
Yes. What's happening, Jennifer, this one, you find in your life, like how I find in my life, or other people listening this audience, they find in their life. When you are in the really pain point of your life, you need to find light. Now, I remember at 28 years old, I have everything. I have everything you possibly imagine, success, beautiful family, beautiful fiance, everything, everything. But I feel something is not working inside me. And I try to find external, I try to buy things, I try to demonstrate I am better than you, and nothing really satisfying. I arrive at one point, I see one my friend, is an engineer in Italy, his the name is Domenico. He have this beautiful smile every time, really energy. He's like in the middle age of 60 years old at that time. He looks like super young, super energized. And I tell, you need to tell me which is your secret. And he told me two words, meditation, transcendent. Wow. From over there, I went to one course and something's completely opened my mind. I started to understand how it's important to build, first of all, your inner part to go after, to your goal. And what's happening is working like this. I started to meditate and wake up really in the morning at 4:30 in the morning. This is meditation morning. Now, I want to be clear. This method work for everybody, but the time when you will do is not the most important part because we are similar but different human being. And what does it mean? I wake up 40 in the morning, I starting to connect with the divine, means I pray, I do
Mhm.
activation pray. Biohacking and exercise means with this method I full energized. I visualize in the morning early when nobody disturb me, my day, my goal, this podcast, your face, everything. And what's happening, I have more energy, more clarity to moving forward to my goal. My goal finally is create abundance, more abundance is possible to give to my family, my fiance, my friend, to enjoy with them the time, plus help other people they have less. In this case, for example, the book is created for this reason because all the money received from this book I donate with an association called Hermano della Calle over here in Miami. They work and they help people to have another time dignity. They take people from the street that they give dignity to them, and I help them too with some my house. And I believe how I explained that this book possible change life is not a pitch itself, but I believe what I tell you because inside the book is a clear method to start it to build inside and after the real estate clearly, no, fufu, like no something like this, something clear.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit earlier, and you felt like part of your success was because you give, and then when you give, you actually receive more. So I like that you're starting with your method, and it's just about the day to day, right? You're filling your cup first, and then you're able to go into the day happier, which then in turn you can give more, which then you're in turn receiving more, which I think is amazing. So, your book, have you heard from anybody that you've applied this methodology and like has it changed anyone's life?
Yeah. First of all, I need to share with you with a little bit honor, but not egocentric honor. Honor because I smile because I'm happy for this. The three people they do an endorsement for this book. And if they don't believe in what I tell, for sure they don't put their name, their face on top of my book. One
Yeah.
is my best friend, the billionaire in Italy. He created this amazing company, university in Italy called Danilo Iervolino. Another two, they are two big player in real estate. One is one the major expert in multifamily, and the other one is the more success agent, Brent Gould, from XP,
Uh-huh.
in the space of real estate. They put their face, and first of all, this give me really happiness. But other people they use, and I have different review inside the Amazon. If people they will go to see, they use this method. Think about something. I wanna be clear. This method, this meditation, morning pray exists outside. I take some information from Hal Herold for the morning, for example. He created this miracle morning book. Beautiful. You guys need to read.
Yeah.
I take other information. And after, you started to use different piece you use for yourself is working. I share with other people that they're working. Now I am 1000%. This method build really something important for you to go after your goal. It's important to try to work, try to do action, find what is working for you and modify for your time, your aspect of personality or whatever. But all the piece inside is working. The last, Jennifer, I want to share with you because when I read the book, I like to something actionable the day after and I learn something important. I'm curious person from really young age. I wanna know who really the study, if the study is working on the back of something. And what I do a lot of research. I interview a lot of people. I read a lot of articles from university where when I started to apply this method to myself and after real estate, I understand really how is important and powerful this fourth pillar is possible create something special in your life.
Do you think that, I mean, obviously anybody could do this, right? But do you think the majority of the people that need the book are business owners?
Beautiful question. I think so. Honestly, business owner, they are people they need more energy, and I will explain why. We are creator. We are people. Today we have a job. Probably tomorrow we don't have. What this means, you create your own path, your own life. And normally, when you create your own path, your own life, you need to pay attention to one category of human being called I call the vampire of energy. And the second one, the connection you have every day around you, the five people you hanging out through video, through call, through study, through book, through whatever is your case, you becoming. Now, why I tell you this? Yes, because I believe business owner, investor, realtor, broker, they need more energy to impact and to have the possibility to really spread it out their message. And if you don't have energy,
Mhm.
where you want to go, you know?
Yeah, I think that's really important, right? I mean, even your friend that you came across that you were like, "You're in your 60s, I'm approaching you, and all I can feel is you and see is your smile," right? That's different, especially as an agent being, and that's a role that you're around so many people. So if you show up and you're like, "Ugh, God, I really hate what I'm doing and I'm just unhappy," people aren't going to want to buy with you, right? But if you show up with a big smile and you have lots of energy, so you're meditating, you're working out, which is fairly self-explanatory, but then you said you're biohacking. Can we dig into that a little bit too?
Yeah. And to decodify the other aspect, exercise too, I explain in the book, is something where people they think about exercise, the same exercise work for everybody. This is a big mistake. What this means, first of all, I explain how it's important to understand your body, understand your age, and understand which kind exercise working better for you and control what you do through the exercise. And I want to be more deeply, and after I will go with biohacking, please. What's happening is this one. A lot of us, and before I do, every time from really young age, I am in the sport. I be professional soccer in Italy, and what's happening? I have this energy to go do like the gym and everything, but I don't have measurement. I don't know where I need to go. Means so important in each aspect of our life. We need to have a clear goal where we are, where we want to go, and control where we want to go. In doing the health is the same. Doing the exercise. For doing the other part, like spiritually, like the second part is pray, connect with the divine. It's so important to understand where we are. For example, during my day in the morning, I ask to myself some question, four in particular. For what I am grateful, which kind give me serenity, which kind activity give me a passion, and which kind activity give me joy. Like this every day, I remember to myself if during the day I do the thing I like.
Mhm.
And for the biohacking aspect, I use different kind of free and device technique to elevate my energy. Something really now popular is a cold shower. Everybody, I study, I listening from Wim Hof, all the process and everything. I do breathing technique. Like something easy to do, but something powerful, give me energy. I visualize. I use some kind of device where it's not necessary. Please be clear. I want to be clear. Try to use everything you have from not attach yourself to something, because if you don't have, after you feel I don't want to do or whatever. I use one device called Brain Tap. Is I reprogram my mind every day for 3 times a day. I use Aura, this ring where I measurement my energy, my level, and everything, and biohacking how I do something really I learned through my experience before I supplement myself with whatever I think is good, but I don't know the measurement. Now I understand because I do analysis. I use some company, they do this, where they give me specific product for myself, where I feel the big difference. Because what's happening a lot of time, we don't know how our body need for something, and we technically intoxicate ourselves with more than what we need.
Yeah.
And for this reason it's so important to choose to go directly to find what you need.
I love that you're not just saying, I feel like most people are just like, "Get out, move your body." right? That's what most people say, and I like that you dug into it a little bit more when I was like, "That's pretty self-explanatory," because I guess it's not, right? I mean, I know I work out every day. I have a trainer, and they set specific goals for me, and I have to hit those every day. I have to hit specific steps. Otherwise, what's the point? And you're doing that with your, like, morning routine too. You have a goal in mind for what you're trying to do, and then you're measuring it. Like, you're using Aura Ring, and I'm assuming you're having people, like, give you specific supplements and stuff like that that your body needs. That too is so important for a lot of us business owners, because I found that what I would do when I wasn't tracking is I just wouldn't eat. I wouldn't eat all day. And I didn't even realize, I thought I was being really healthy, but I just wasn't. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, so I had no idea. And then by the end of the day, I'd be like, wow, I don't feel very good. Well, yeah, because I didn't drink water, I didn't eat all day. So I think that's important too, is that we're all tracking what we're doing with our workouts in our body.
Super important, and you tell something so important to think about. Business owner is a study. When they have more energy, they're really possible doubling or more their business, because if you don't have energy, if you don't have a correct place to sleep, if you don't know how is working your body, you working maybe a 40% of your energy. And I think so everybody, we want to be 100% of our energy. And I think so now we have in this beautiful world where we have all the information out, where we possibly read one book, change our life, how happening in my case, different kind the time in different kind aspect of my life. And I think so we are really fortunate to live this era. And it's so important to build your inner power inside, and after go with clear action, a strategy to your external goal. And in real estate, I think so, because I know you are agent, and you are in the best place to create more abundance in your life.
Love it. Well, as we kind of wrap up, you had said a couple different things earlier that I really wanted to dig into a little bit more. So, one of the powerful things that you said earlier was only you have the power to decide how to see things.
Yeah. Like reality is this one, if you think about, what is heart ourselves. And for example, I arrived over here in Miami couple of weeks ago from Italy, where I stay couple of months. What's happening, what and why I tell this, what's really create problem in our life, and how we see, how we interpret the thing happening in our life. And when you starting to shift, when you started to really analyze correctly the main point, you started to see one problem and shift and think about, yes, this problem have this characteristic, something happening in my life. Maybe whatever is happening in our life creates something inside. But if we see with another prospect, we have the leverage to moving in the clear direction out of this situation. It means really the interpretation of what's happening in our life, what is give us the quality of our life. This is so important, because when I feel stuck or I feel some bad emotion, I told you in the last, I working every day in this three word to stay healthy, rich, and happy every day. It's not like excuse one day yes, one day no. No, every day, like a small thing every day. But for example, go back to my house, I feel my family, my mother, she have like unfortunately some big issue, and I feel sadness inside me. But
Mhm.
automatically, and I started to fight with myself to find solution, to fight with her too. But after I find solution, I tell to myself, hey, but I enjoy until now my mother. She's with me. I bring in every part of the world with me. You need the only blessing. You are blessing to receive this. And now I shift. But it's important to shift and analyze what's happening in our life. Analyze means really go through and see with more clear vision what is the really problem. If we are interpreted not correctly, or we think about whatever happening in our life is like something destiny or whatever. I don't believe in the destiny. I believe in create my destiny with something more big on top of me.
I love that. Just the way that you're looking at things, whether it's personal or professional. A lot of us, something bad happens and it shifts your entire perspective for the whole day or it ruins your entire day. And it doesn't need to be that way as long as you control it. I always look at it when stuff happens. Like I'm out driving around and someone cuts me off or whatever, or crazy people do crazy things. I always think of it as like, I never know what's happening in that person's life that day. And that's why they're acting that way. And so I'm not going to allow that to ruin my day or my kid's day because they might be having something really horrible going on. They might just be an awful person, but I always like to think they might just be having a really bad day and just kind of brush it off. But I think a lot of times our first reaction is, that's so awful. Just ruined my entire day. They made me late for my appointment, whatever. Super powerful to stay happy, I think.
Super is everything, in our day.
Yeah. As we kind of pivot a little bit, I'm going to ask you, what is your superpower?
My superpower is connect with powerful human being to give and after to ask them to create something together.
Do you think you were born with that superpower, or do you think that you've adapted that superpower over time?
Absolutely no, because I coming from a really normal family. My mother's teaching, my father is engineer. They are really strict rules people. Where I live, I grow up with a lot of love, but with a lot of rules. And one of the rules is try, for example, to don't negotiate because looks bad. Try to don't, go too much outside of the range, and I do the opposite because I understand a powerful human being, they are people, they create deeply connection with other human being. They are people they want to hanging out. They are people they want to take a drink. They are people they know. For example, I know how is important the time of other human being. I respect them. I try to add the value. It means wherever is kind human being I interact, I try to be more polite as possible in the way where is working, and at the same time to add the value in the other human being life. And this is working for me a lot because it's coming for me. I create this in my life. Before I'm not like this. I study a lot. But out after automatically, this method, for example, MPBE helped me a lot to becoming the better version of myself. I working every day to becoming a better version of myself. And from really young age to if my story is not coming from a super wealthy connection, I try way to connect with the people to give them something. For example, I want to tell a small story. When I take my PhD in business in Italy, business management, during my PhD, I interview, at the time is no exist podcast, nothing, the most powerful people in Italy. One of these person becoming my best friend. From over there, create other thing, other beautiful, but everything is coming from give to them a place where they feel authority, they feel a little bit their ego, and I give them something. And at the same time, during my life, I received other things with some beautiful word, beautiful connection, or other business, other kind of relationship.
I feel like that's an amazing superpower for you to have developed over time, especially with what you're doing now with real estate for sure.
Yeah. I think so. When you realize like life and business is connection.
Yeah.
That's it.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. It's I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do the podcast is just like I get to meet all of these amazing people, connect with different people, get to know them on a different level that I wouldn't have been able to do just walking down the street, right? Because you're in Miami or Italy or all of our other guests are all over the place. And then they introduce me to someone else and it makes things either A, I'm learning things, I've just wrote down your book so I can go add it to my wish list, or we're giving back to all of our listeners too, which is so fun.
Yeah.
So this has been great today. I think there's been so many little nuggets that we can take away, and I hope everybody goes and gets a copy of that book. I think all of us, especially if you're business owners, can really apply that to our day to day. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, whether they just want to learn more about your book or get to know you a little bit more or send you referrals, Where's the best place to send them?
Yeah, first of all, I will love really how you already asked to your audience to buy the book. Buy the book because I believe in the power of this book. I believe you will receive wherever I tell you. It means really a lot of powerful information. And they possible find in Amazon, or they possible go to my website www.healthyrichandhappy, or in Instagram if they want to message me or wherever. I will love to share my thought, my idea, wherever they feel to ask me, because how I share with you, I am in the phase of contribution, and I open my mind to everything and to everybody.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. It was so great meeting you and getting to know your story, and we will talk again very soon.
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Bye.